I must say his ghost buddies are strangely unfazed by this. Hello and welcome back to Build-a-Barbarian Workshop with another episode of the Tavern Brawler Wizard series. In this episode, I'll be taking on Sarevok and the Murder Tribunal. Start by building up some momentum with the Boots of Elemental Momentum, trick I've been using throughout the run. Just so good, gives me a bunch of movement speed. It actually only gives a maximum of 100 feet of movement speed, but that is plenty for most purposes. Setting up a little trap for Sarevok here with the Resonance Stone and the Moon Lantern for Illumination. The Resonance Stone, you'll see why I'm using that in just a moment. Building up a little Arcane Acuity here with the Gloves of Battlemage's power by throwing some potions on the ground. Don't actually need that much because the Resonance Stone already gives disadvantage on mental saves, but higher DC never hurts. 1,160 feet of movement speed. Pretty good, although I've done higher in this run. Improvised melee weapon does not actually break invisibility until you drop them by canceling it or complete the actual melee attack. So you can walk away with them invisibly, totally undisturbed, and then action won't actually start until you end it. I was sort of curious what would happen when the cutscene triggered here. Like, would we be out of the throne room and it would just look bizarre? But I guess the developers didn't account for the possibility that you would invisibly carry Sarevok out of the throne room. So we've now magically teleported back in place for the cutscene. I was worried that we would both teleport back in place in actuality, but as you'll see after the cutscene, that's not exactly what happens.
This was our Milo, and so it. But Aaron is. You wish to become. You will die here.
So I teleported back into place, but Sarevok didn't for some reason, so now I just have to fly back over there and finish what I started. Worth noting that I do have a Cloud Giant Elixir active right now. Sarevok actually weighs 160 pounds, which is just out of range of what you can pick up with a 20 strength, and I haven't yet gotten the Mirrored Loss to bump my strength up to 22. So I need the Cloud Giant Elixir. I sort of wonder if he weighs that much rather than 150 like most medium creatures, specifically to make it harder to carry him around. I provoke the opportunity attack here just to get him chilled and waste his reaction. I don't really end up using the chilled for anything, but it's just kind of part of the build right now. Now, unlike the last time I tried to use Arcane Lock in this way, this is an indestructible door, so it's not possible for the Echoes to break through it or for Sarevok to break through it, so now they are totally trapped, separated from each other. For some reason, it didn't occur to me that hitting him with the spell there would trigger his Dread Pursuit reaction, but I have such good concentration saves right now that there's basically no risk that I lose my concentration. Okay, the big thing I want you to take away from this fight here is just how good Phantasmal Killer is against Act 3 bosses. You know, he typically gets overshadowed by something like Hold Monster, which makes him completely paralyzed and gives you free crits. But the thing about Hold Monster is that's an incapacitating condition. And Sarevok has a version of Legendary Resistance, like many bosses, that only triggers from incapacitating conditions. It doesn't trigger off everything. So if you hit him with a spell that doesn't incapacitate him, you don't even have to beat his Legendary Resistance bonus of plus 10. You just have to beat his regular saves. And so it's incredibly easy to hit him with Phantasmal Killer, and it just locks him in place. And the only ranged attack he has is his Dread Pursuit reaction. So as long as you don't hit him, he'll just stick there. And, you know, normally locking him in place isn't that great if you're not hitting him, but Phantasmal Killer is dealing damage. So you lock him in place, you deal damage, the damage is doubled by Resonance Stone, and there's nothing he can do about it. He just sits here slowly dying every turn. So here I was looking for a way to blind him. The blindness spell would work because it's non-concentration, but he has really good con saves. But I realize it just doesn't matter. I mean, I don't even need to blind him because he can't do anything from range unless I attack him. Throwing him builds acuity with the gloves. The damage dealt by Phantasmal Killer builds acuity with the gloves, so I'm going to have very high acuity that's ensuring he never breaks out of the Phantasmal Killer, but it doesn't really matter because he doesn't have great wisdom saves and he's forced to have disadvantage on those with the Resonant Stone. Basically just wanted to get a little bit more per turn damage here to speed up the process of killing him without actually targeting him, hence the Caustic Brine. But I didn't realize that it would hit the Resonant Stone, and I was like, oh god, I might accidentally destroy it. It only has 10 health, so I was like, oh no, that was a mistake. He's prone from me having thrown him, and that's why his Dread Pursuit doesn't trigger here. You can't do anything at all when you're prone. You can't take reactions, you can't take legendary actions, so prone and immobile makes him just totally useless. I wanted to just pop down on this bench and take a nice little sit while Sarevok slowly died to my spell, but the game wasn't really cooperating. You pop up from it if you do anything, even the little animation from your character playing around with their swords. Just look at how totally Arcane Lock prevents the echoes from participating in the fight. There's just literally no actions they can take that would allow them to affect the outcome in any way. I could throw something at him, but in order to do that, I need to get him prone first if I don't want to get hit with his Dread Pursuit. So I decide, why do anything? Phantasmal Killer is not going to be escaped. Just pass turn. So I haven't done that much damage yet, but the fight's already completely over. Sarevok can't escape. The Echoes can't get through the door. And once Sarevok actually dies, the Echoes aren't much of a threat on their own. So for all intents and purposes, this fight is done. Resonant Stone makes Phantasmal Killer do some pretty decent damage too. 50, 78 that other time. So here I wanted to flex on him by literally drinking a potion of sleep in the middle of the fight and then still killing him. But I forgot that since I'm a half-elf, I'm immune to magical sleep, which is funny that, that's good normally, but I wanted to do the disrespect. I decide to get rid of the Resonant Stone here because I'm not planning to deal psychic damage anymore, so no point in penalizing my own saves. Again, opportunity attacks to both get rid of their reactions. One of them has Counterspell, then also to apply Chilled for vulnerability to cold damage. Although in this case, they already had resistance to cold damage, so it just makes me break even and deal regular damage. Yeah, no, sorry, you are not going to be casting that on me today. You don't get to cast Counterspell. Only I get to cast Counterspell. Rude. On second thought, I actually ended up doing a lot of psychic damage to them here with Stage Fright and Mind Blast, so maybe I should have held on to the Resonant Stone. Would have sped this process up a little bit. And there you have it. Very easy fight. Honestly, the strategy ended up working even better than I expected. Phantasmal Killer, just so good against bosses that have bad wisdom saves and have the legendary resistance you need to get around. So definitely try it out yourself. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to talking to you next time.